Hello, my name is Elton, and I'm a rising senior at Lowell High School. My main project is the motion sensing nightlight, and in my first milestone, I was able to get my LEDs to fade on and off whenever there is motion detection. As you can see, it just faded on. So, in this project, I used a Arduino, and both the LEDs and Arduino get their power from a power adapter that supplies it with 15 watts. And this is enough to keep the LEDs bright if I were to connect more to this circuit. So as for the LEDs, I used USB LEDs that had passive touch, and the code for that is contained in the little microcontroller in the USB, as you can see right there. And I had to disable this passive touch by soldering two of the pins of the microcontroller together, and this allows for the LEDs to stay on whenever, so that it disabled the passive touch. So on the LEDs, there is, as you can see, there's also a lot of resistors wired into them, so I did not have to use any other resistors in my circuit. And next, in my circuit, I also used a N-channel MOSFET to turn the LEDs on and off. It's right here. So this MOSFET serves as a switch for the circuit, and it allows current to flow from its drain pin to its source pin, turning the LEDs on and off whenever there is signal coming from the Arduino's digital pin 3 to the MOSFET's gate pin. And that turns the LEDs on and off. So next, to get my LEDs to turn on and off using motion detection, I used a passive infrared motion sensor, or PIR motion sensor. And whenever this motion sensor detects motion, it will change its signal that it normally sends to the Arduino, and this change in signal is detected by the Arduino's digital pin 3, and whenever this digital pin detects a change in the signal, it will cause a function to run in the code, which will lead to an output sent through the digital pin 9 to the MOSFET's gate pin, thus turning on the LEDs. So the turning on and off of the LEDs is controlled by a if statement in the code in the Arduino, and this if statement is the line of code that detects for the change in signal coming from the motion sensor, and the fading of these LEDs is controlled by for loops and the analog write function in the code. And unlike the digital write function, the analog write function actually allows for the fading of LEDs. And the fading of these LEDs is done by the Arduino using pulse width modulation, or PWM. And this basically makes LEDs oscillate between high and low, while gradually increasing the time that it remains at high before turning it low again. And or in other words, the PWM changes the duty cycle of these LEDs, and our eyes perceive this as fade. So next, when the LEDs are turned on, the Arduino will constantly check for if the time since the most recent motion detection is longer than the allowed pause, and that pause is a variable in the code. And if it is longer than the allowed pause, then the Arduino will slowly fade off the LEDs by stopping the signal to the MOSFET using PWM.